Okay, so hello everyone. We are back for
Me.
the final webinar for the Gender Network, and all the Gender Network is here. Myself, Jessica. Guys, you want to introduce yourselves?
So my name is Beryl. Nana Akuffo-Kwapong.
Tanya, Taboo, you also want to introduce yourselves?
Hello, my name is Tanya.
Hi, my name is Tabungala.
Okay, so without further ado now, one more thing before we start with the webinar itself. I just want to, if you are calling in from somewhere else, can you just please type in the chat your name and where you're from, so we could put a database so we could actually see like where people are calling from, like through using like different calls. So if you guys could do that, that would be awesome. So without further ado, I'm just going to hand it over to Beryl to talk about what she has been doing so far.
Thank you, Jess. Hello everyone. So, share screen. My curriculum for young people in Ghana. But before we continue with the webinar, I would like us to play a game. So I'll just do a question and you can respond. You can just contribute to sex education. Tap. Okay, just raise your hand if you can hear me. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you better because it breaks up every once in a while. So I just wanted to alert you of that. But now I think
Okay, let me, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
You can hear me?
Yes, perfect. Crystal clear.
Perfect, okay. So it was just my headphones, I guess. Okay, so back to the game. So I'd like to ask participants on the call if the following questions. Did you get taught how to use a condom?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay. Did you get taught how to the various birth control methods available to you if you're a man or if you're a woman?
Yes.
I mean, for men.
Mostly girls, not the guys though, but yes, for girls.
Yeah, no, yeah. Did you get taught how the idea of consent?
Yes.
Okay. And do women where you live have access to safe abortions?
Yes. In the United States. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jessica.
No problem.
So in Ghana, in my experience, there's no form of sex education. It was basically abstain. And most of the memory I have in high school concerning learning about sexual health was mostly towards abstaining from sex altogether. So generally, I didn't even know how to use a condom. I didn't know the birth control methods available to me. The idea of consent was foreign. I never actually had the opportunity to learn about sex and sexual health. So this, when MCN came up with the opportunity to start a campaign, I decided that one important issue missing in my country is sex education. And I could use my available resources to teach and impact lives around me. So I decided to come up with the idea of sham advocacy. And the slogan is "Know Thy Body, Know Thy Worth." And the idea of sham advocacy is to complement the existing or the non-existing sexual health education system in Ghana. Basically, complementing it by teaching young people about sex, about sexual health, sexuality, sensuality, and the available methods to have planned and safe sexual encounters. So as I already said, what was the idea? The idea was to create a 6-week intensive curriculum on comprehensive sexual health, mainly focusing on human biology, sexuality, gender, power difference, rape culture, health, reproductive health issues, and options. And how the idea has been to have a hands-on interactive approach to discussions and partnerships with resource personnel and experienced people in the field. So basically, it's been going back and forth looking for health professionals and practitioners who are aware and are informed on these subjects, so we can impact people with accurate information. Where has this been? The idea has been in Ghana, and so far it's been in my university, in my college. That's where it's been centered. But then in the future, we hope to expand to high schools all over the world. That's like the big goal. And as I said, the target audience is young people in Ghana, and it's very important because that's where most issues of teenage unplanned pregnancies happen, and sexual transmitted diseases, because young people aren't aware and are curious. So once you impact them with that information, with that knowledge, growing up will be easier for them to have to make informed decisions and choices about sexual health and sex in general. So what have I done so far? Basically, I've created Twitter, Facebook pages. No, I'm guilty. I've not been very interactive on my pages, but yes, so far I have an online presence. During this summer, I hope to be very active on my Twitter and my social media pages. Also, I'm in the process of creating partnerships with other organizations. I'm in talks with Marie Stopes. I met someone who worked in Marie Stopes who was willing and excited to help and work with sham advocacy. So that's good news. And currently, I'm working with 3 other friends to create a proposal and a teaching guide to teach the incoming freshman class of my school about consent, sexual assault, and sexual health. So unfortunately for my school, we do not have an active body discussing sexual health, like sexual health in general, because we've not had so many cases. We've not had cases of rape or sexual assault. It just started. So now it has become an issue of urgency for my school to start having intensive sexual health campaigns and education. So sham advocacy has come in at the right time to help and complement my school in working towards making this happen. So currently, that's what I'm working on. That's what I spent most of my time after, like during this vacation, working on, so as to be able to carry out this proposal in the fall semester. Also, I kickstarted Sister Circles. Last semester, I was able to work with 4 other girls. Yeah, four other girls to be able to be able to stage the vaginal monologues, because it's very important, especially as a Shesi in my school, because it's one of the radical ways to start that conversation about our body issues, body image, and sex. So we used that platform to start that conversation. It was revealing, it was exciting, and we decided that it wasn't going to end there. We're going to continue talking about these issues and creating sister circles where every Wednesday or Tuesday, let's set a date for the fall semester. Women come over and we just sit and talk over snacks about our lives, about image, about feminism, about issues concerning women and empowering ourselves, because it's very necessary in the patriarchal world we live in. So that's one major thing that we started to do. And this is very important for Shama advocacy because our slogan is know thy body, know thy worth. And understanding your body and understanding your body is a very big factor in understanding who you are and feeling empowered about yourself. So this sister cycle, I feel, is very important for the organization of advocacy and for my community at large. And in collaboration with the diversity office at school and a group of 2 people and a team, we've been able to start talking about consent. So last semester I was able to work with this group. It's called the Hard Talk. We have the Hard Talk on consent, and this is new on my campus because consent wasn't an issue. People thought sexual assault didn't exist, so why talk about consent? And people do not engage in sex, so why talk about consent? That's the assumption. So then having these conversations brought out the kind of culture, the kind of rape culture, and the patriarchy that exists in a sex doesn't allow people to talk about sex and consent freely. And this was found to be very impactful, as the feedback we got was really good in terms of how people responded to the talks on consent, how people felt like they had learned something new. We were able to also get stickers for people to carry along as they went back to their various dormitories. This is very important. This was very important as it created that and educated people as they went back to their dormitories. So now what's in it for me? Now over the next 3 months, I'll be on vacation and my first semester will be starting. And I hope to partner with two high schools over the summer. So I can start the pilot projects and actually start going onto the field to teach people. Also hold health sessions in my school next semester in partnership with Marie Stopes. I'm still in talks with Marie Stopes International. It's very important because Marie Stopes is one of the biggest reproductive health care clinics and organizations in Ghana. So partnering with Marie Stopes will be a very big platform for Sham advocacy. And also, I hope to be able to set up my board for Sham advocacy and start the registration process to actually register it as a fully established organization and also complete the curriculum. So basically, that's what's been for me and my update on my campaign. I hope it's been clear and the whole idea and the whole big idea has been clear. The limitation so far has mainly been time, trying to juggle my time with schoolwork, my rigorous schoolwork, and Sham advocacy. But I'm glad that I've been able to reach these milestones within the period and within the past semester. So basically, that has been my presentation. Oh my God, I did that in like 15 minutes. That's been my presentation, and any questions are duly welcome. Also, please, you can find Sham Advocacy on Twitter and Facebook. Just type in SHAM Advocacy and it will come up. Thank you.
So does anybody have any questions for Beryl? Anyone? Well, I have a question. So you said you were going to set up a board for this curriculum that you're creating. Are these individuals going to be from your school, or is it going to be like a mixture from like high school and college?
So I'm basically going to focus on college,
Okay.
and because of proximity also, and because of time, basically. Because once I have people on my college, I know I can have meetings. We can have meetings every week, and also try and get people and try and get mentors. So they're not going to have like external bodies on the board. They're going to have mentors. So because we're not too sure if they'll be available for meetings. We'll just have mentors who are going to be checking in once a month. So yeah. That's the idea.
No, that's really cool that you have like all this setting up, like you're creating your own curriculum. You're not like basing it off others. Like, no, that's like, this is awesome. And that's pretty much all of my questions. Great presentation. As I said before, awesome. So does anybody else have any other questions before I turn it over to Tanya? Anyone?
Oh, I think everything is really clear. It's all good. We all wish you the best as you continue with your initiative.
Thank you, Tanya and Tabu.
Yeah, everything is cool. And I actually like the name. What does the word SHAM stand for?
Sexual health and, well, I don't remember what the AM stands for. Oh my God. But I remember what the SH stood for. I remember it's sexual health, but I don't remember what the AM stands for. That's such a shame. I'm sure it's like mixed up in so many other ideas I was coming up with, and I was like, let me make it SHAM.
It really gets your attention, that name. It really does.
It was inspired by a group I was part of while I was in Wheaton. It was called SHAG. It was called the SHAG Club. And basically it was a sexual health education club. So I was like, there's SHAG and there can be SHAM. So I guess that's where the inspiration came from.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, well, thank you so much, Beryl. And Tanya, are you ready?
Yeah, I think so. Let me just try and see if I can share the screen.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think we are now good. We can actually start. Well, I'm Tanya. I'm from Zimbabwe and I'm a student at Earth University. I'm part of the Global Gender Network, and my campaign is called the Girl Power Initiative. And we have the tagline that states, "Don't kill the caterpillar in her cocoon, let it be transformed." So what is the, okay, I think, okay, now it can work. So I'm just going to start by introducing what the Girl Power Initiative is. The Girl Power Initiative is basically a campaign that seeks to develop the social and economic capacity of marginalized girls by ensuring that they have access to basic education and livelihood skills training, because we believe by educating the girl child, she is empowered to reach her full potential, and she can as well become an independent woman in the society. And as we all know, if we educate more girls, then their health, their income levels, and overall livelihoods improve. So all in all, we are trying to bring about social transformation in our societies. And this is going to be through the implementation of various agricultural projects that can help the families earn a decent living, as well as sustaining their children even after completing their secondary education. So what has been the motive behind the Girl Power initiative? So in Zimbabwe, access to education is a right to every child, but due to the economic crisis that the country has been facing for the past 8 years, the education of the girl child has become a challenge. And this is because the female children, they are basically seen as a source of income to sustain their families through early child marriages, child labor, and this is basically prostitution, as well as the girl child being a maid servant for the richer families. And we have also seen that because of the economic crisis, we also have schools that are trying still to keep their standards. And this has resulted in some high cost of education, which has seen some of the girls dropping out of school because they cannot afford their families, they don't have enough income. Some of the parents have been retrenched, and others do not even have parents. They are like orphans and they lead child-headed families. So we have seen that the number of girls dropping out of school has been increasing, and therefore we have seen the need to address this situation. So basically our purpose is to ensure that girls have access to basic education and livelihood skills training. And the main objectives are to improve the access to basic health and education for vulnerable girls who have never managed to get the opportunity to go to school. We also like to ensure that girls who are on the verge of dropping out of school are kept in school and complete their secondary education. And we would also like to ensure that girls who have dropped out of school, they're also taken back to school and complete their education, as well as increasing family, peer, and community awareness on the importance of girl-child education. So what we plan to do is to have mentorship programs for the girls, whereby they get to have that self-awareness, that ability to make decisions for themselves, as well as we plan to have a mentorship program for the parents, for the community members, so that they get to know the importance of the education of the girl child. And also as a major initiative or program that would like to pursue is to come up with agricultural projects that would help in the generation of income, because what we have seen as the main cause to the girls dropping out of school, it has been really poverty. It has been really because of the financial restrictions that they're facing in their families. So what we'd like to improve is the access to maybe financial institutions, and we hope to start a chicken project whereby we raise the fees for these children, and then they can also be able to go to school, as well as the family being able to sustain itself through the income they get from the sale of the chickens. So our progress so far, we have managed to partner with students at 2 universities in Zimbabwe, that is the University of Zimbabwe and the Midland State University. And these students are the ones who are going to be part of the mentorship program for the girls, as well as the parents and the community members. we have also partnered with individuals who are renowned social entrepreneurs in terms of in the agricultural sector, if I may say so. These individuals are the ones who are actually going to work on the skills development, and we also have other renowned artists who are going also to give personal development workshops to these girls. And we are also going to have like talent development workshop, because we discover that some of these girls, they don't really get to discover what they are passionate about. But we hope that through the workshops, they'll actually get to develop their talents, get to know what they really can do, and from there they can become better people in the society. And for us, as the Girl Power Initiative, what has been really a stumbling block has been the financial aid, because would like to start the chicken project, but we do not have funds enough. Like, we do not have funds for now to even get the first batch of chickens, because the plan is to like get them in different batches so that we'll continue to have a continuous production of the chickens, and that would be able to generate more income for the community, for the families. So at the moment, we don't have any financial aid, and we hope that we'll get it soon so that we kickstart the project, because basically all the groundwork has been done. What is really needed is some financial injection to kickstart the program. And also, what we have as kind of a challenge are also like the campaign partners. We still need more partnerships from various stakeholders. Those would even help us to kind of have this program at a national level, because we are just going to start from one area. So would want to put it across all the various regions in the country, because we believe this is a problem that is not only happening in the Mashingo area, but it's happening in other parts of the country. So we'd really love to connect with other partners so that we can help spread this initiative. Finally, would love you to be part of the campaign, and you can just like our page on Facebook. It's called the Girl Power Initiative. You can share with your friends, spread the word, connect us to partners, and yeah, we kickstart the whole program. And I think that will be it for the Girl Power Initiative. Any questions or contributions?
Yeah, Tanya, I think your work is absolutely amazing, what you're doing, especially that you already have like partnerships with other people at universities to go through that mentorship program for girls, and you're like letting them find what their true desires are, what their true abilities are, and that's truly amazing, I think. Just in relation to just like getting out there and like your name, for example, for your campaign, like, do you think that's a struggle because it's so new?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a struggle because people would really want to get to know you more, and before they can really confide in you or even confide in the campaign program, they really need to get to know you. So that has been really a struggle, getting to have the name like being well known and well established. It has been really a challenge, because that's somehow a barrier to us getting more partnerships or even getting funding, because people would be just like, actually, this is something that's just on paper. We haven't seen any results yet. So that has been really a struggle. And we believe if we really get the opportunity to be having access maybe to different people, different organizations, it would help us move a step further.
Awesome. Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions for Tanya at this time about her campaign and what she's doing and the progress that they've made?
So I just wanted to ask if Tanya has been able to explore other opportunities and other organizations, like other options to be able to expand her network. I think that also helps with making your campaign known and getting people to be interested in the campaign, in my experience.
Okay, I would like to say that I'm still working on that because I have like people who have really approached me. So we are still working to see how we can actually grow the network, because you find that people are interested and they want to kind of add on to something. So we are thinking of maybe trying to merge the ideas with other partners so that at least we have like more catchment, I would say, and then have like a better network. So that's what's basically happening right now.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. And that's an amazing presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so and nobody else has any questions for Tanya, maybe like at this time, Taboo and I can go over what have we been doing in our campaign so far, since we heard so much from Beryl and Tanya. So Taboo, do you want to explain like what your progress has been since the last time we talked?
Okay.
Sorry to put you on the spot. It's okay.
Yeah, that was okay. I really did plan for that, but so far I've just managed to like I actually started working with. I haven't started working with the women, but I'm working with just one woman. We bought some 100 chicken. Then we're working towards empowering that's one woman, not the one like we thought we were going to empower 10 women, but so far only working with one woman. Mm-hmm. And everything has been kind of like slow because of time, usually the academic.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel the same way.
Yeah, and the other part is that I tried to apply for some funding, like there's some funding opportunities which came up. I tried to apply, but they didn't give me funds, unfortunately. But still applying. I will see what will come, but basically, we're just we keep updating our Facebook page, which is Ending Child Marriages and Prostitution. Then what else? There's Facebook, there's Instagram, and we yeah, just that. It's the whole thing is just been kind of slow because don't have funds, and actually this same campaign it's hard for me to implement it because of lack of funds, because we have to buy chicken and first to buy those we need money, and if you don't have money it's kind of like everything becomes shattered, but we're working towards that. But the only thing of like the accomplishment is just working with that one woman, and also I have about 3 friends who would like to take part in the campaign. That's all.
No, that's awesome. Like that's a lot of progress that you work with something, because like your project has like it encapsulates a lot of moving parts, especially with the chickens, because like you can't start it until you have the chickens, but if you don't have the money, then you can't buy the chickens, then it kind of have like a stalemate kind of thing. So like, no, I totally get that. But it looks like you've done a lot, especially with the social media, like with the Instagram and like getting the word out there about like what you're doing. So that's very progressive.
Yeah, I also tried to do the go get funding stuff, like application or something like that. But there's no help.
Yeah, I had like this. I have the same exact barrier, especially with the financial problem. Like I'm looking into my school actually has the Ignite Fund, which bolsters projects like this, like we're doing. So I don't know how much the money they're going to give me. They said they would, but I have to like make this whole proposal like you did. So it's like a very, very vigorous process in order to get it. I'm speaking with the person as soon as I come back in the fall. As far as anything else goes, so the website, we are hitting a barrier because there's so many resources out there that we need to put on the website and make people aware of in their selected schools. And we only have about 3 researchers right now. So, and like each school has at least 10 resources for sexual assault victims, for example. So there's a barrier towards that. And then like people just don't want to volunteer. They want to get paid for it. And like, we don't have the revenue to pay those people to research for us. So it's basically volunteer basis right now. As far as Facebook, Instagram, we are posting when we can. The school year has officially ended for me yesterday. So now I can put more focus on how I can bolster the awareness of the end of sexual assault, and only my own campus, but nationwide as well. We are partnering hopefully soon with Boston College, which is near us. We have a few students there that really want to get into the program and ending this epidemic that is pretty much pervasive in every campus that we see in the world.
Yeah.
We're working with class deans, and that's pretty much it as of right now for me. Basically just like getting the word out there, trying to get funds. We're working with our RPEs, which is our relationship peer educators, who pretty much are confidential individuals who, if you are sexually assaulted, then you can go to them, speak about it, and they don't have to tell us, any therapist. It's pretty much your friend that you can discuss this with and see how to cope with it in that. So there's a lot of partnership that's going on. We recently did the Take Back the Night, where we partnered with the Women's Forum on campus, and we took lights and walked around all campus. There's pictures. When we send in the blog to MCN, the Millennials Campus Network, you'll see exactly like what we've been doing during that event. It was very nice. Boys and girls alike saw and were there and took part in it, so that's awesome. But yeah, we're pretty much trying to get our word out there, making more partnerships like you guys are doing. Unfortunately, some of my team is going to study abroad. So I pretty much almost my whole team is going to study abroad. So I have to get new people in to really be like the ground troops for this operation. So we'll be looking towards that. A lot of guys, it approached us saying we want to be part of it, which is great because it was such like a female heavy base. And now we actually have guys like, we love your idea. We want to be part of it. We want to really be the poster boys for it. So, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I got in touch with them. So it's really just like growing the Silence the Sound campaign, as we say. So, Beryl, you said you have a question?
Yes. How did you get your website done?
Okay. Good question. Okay. So my mom had this friend who is pretty much like a computer expert. And so he gave me all the details on how to do it. I could send it to you. I pretty much pay like $200 for the year, but they make sure that's up and running all the time. It's always like updating. Unfortunately, I did have to pay that in my own pocket because we didn't have funds back then. And until the fall, we don't still have funds. So, so it's like pretty hefty. There's like other ones. I talked to like one of the campaign winners from last year, and I think they use Power Space or something like that. I could definitely get you the information, but once you get it and you pay for it, then it's pretty simple. Like it's just like editing a Word document pretty much. And that's how we started it. And my team, we got together one day, we sat down, we looked at a variety of websites and we're like, which one can we mirror to make it like look like professional as possible? Because like there was like a lot of trials and a lot of drafts that we had to go through, and we're still in process of making it like to utmost perfection. But yeah, we started that way, saying like, what is going to be our story? How did we get there? Who's on the board? So like they can associate Silence the Sound campaign to a name, for example. So there's like different things like that. Like we are still looking for bloggers. As you can see, like the blog posts, like there's a blog tab that you can look under, but right now we don't have any bloggers unless people are willing to do so. Again, it's volunteer work. We're not paying people, so it doesn't really give people an incentive to blog for us until we have those funds to incentivize people to do so. So, and that's pretty much it. Does that clear up your question? Or
Definitely.
okay, yeah, I could definitely email you with all the information.
Okay.
Yeah,
That'd be nice.
yeah, absolutely. Does anybody have anything else to add?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess that for now concludes the Global Gender Network webinar series. It has been an honor speaking to all of the members of the Gender Network, Beryl, Tanya, Thabu. It's really rewarding to know that we, like, no matter like we're in any part of the world, we can really make a difference, rather how big or how small it is, that the barriers that we have in front of us, that we can still make a difference in that. And that's really cool to know that that's possible. So if anybody doesn't have anything else to say, I am going to conclude and say thank you again for everyone that's going to see this, that is now on the call with us, who got to see how much progress we have made through the duration of our campaigns. And we hope to see you again sometime. So bye. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.